It's November, so that means Game Boy Color. Today, I'm looking at Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. I don't think I gotta say much about the console version of Tony Hawk 2, because it was one of my favorite games as a kid, and now that I'm older, I think I might just like it even more. But you also might remember that the Game Boy Color version of Tony Hawk 1 had almost nothing to do with the console game. So what's the sequel like? Well, right off the bat, it's a lot more faithful to the source material. The menus look accurate, the skaters are actually semi-recognizable, and the gameplay involves skating around levels while trying to achieve certain goals within a time limit, just like on console. So basically, you skate left and right, you jump with A, you brake with B for some reason, and pushing A along with the direction does tricks. When you land on a rail, you automatically grind. Some levels are just side-scrollers, while others allow you to move up and down. Although with those stages, you have to come to a dead stop before changing directions for some reason. You can't just smoothly change directions or move around in a circle. So this is all sounding pretty good so far, right? Because the game's a lot more faithful to the original in both presentation and gameplay. So does that mean the game's better? Well, to put it lightly, no, absolutely not. In fact, I kinda hate it. See, the main thing is that it just feels bad to control. I mean, going up and down these ramps and half-pipes often means you go really slowly, and it just doesn't feel fun to skate around and do tricks. And in the free-roaming levels, as in the ones where you go up and down, it's really hard to tell what's going on. Like, what am I even grinding on right now? I cannot tell. The point about this game is to complete goals, such as getting a certain number of points or collecting floating items or whatever, but chances are you just won't want to. The game's not really that easy, and when the game isn't fun, it's hard to stay motivated for more than 2 seconds. Something else that bothers me is that no matter how hard you push the A button, you always jump the same height. Like right here, I need to jump on top of these taxis so I can grind on them, but no matter how lightly I push the A button, I always just take a massive leap over them instead. It's just so annoying. Something that makes it even worse for me is that I didn't play this version of the game until after I already played the Game Boy Advance version of Tony Hawk 2, and that version was amazing. So playing that one and then going back to this was just kind of painful, to be honest. There is one thing I liked about this game though. You see, the game uses passwords to save, like a lot of other Game Boy Color games, but this one actually gives you the option to print out the passwords using the Game Boy printer, which is probably not something a lot of people are really going to do, but I don't know, I think it's kind of cool because writing down passwords kind of gets annoying. So there's Tony Hawk 2 on Game Boy Color. It's a lot more faithful to the original than the first Game Boy Color port was, but somehow it's even less fun. It was very disappointing, and I do not like it.